Hi, welcome back to Let's Build. A very quick build today on this free BMW you can pick up from the street. And the main reason for this really is partly to show off a nice crew colour and partly to test. I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast to record and hopefully cut out the very loud mechanical keyboard, but at least let me say things in time with what I'm doing rather than voicing over as I've done so far. I'm not keeping this car, so I'm not doing armour or brakes. Of course you would on your own one. On the front bumpers, have a look at the picture of the M3 that we're trying to copy. The stock front bumper is better because we then move into very aggressive things that most certainly are not on the car. It's the same on the rear. We want the stock bumper. I think I didn't put it on the front. There we go. Engine, of course, you go to stage 4 on your own. Now exhaust, we want some quad chrome pipes, and we do have those down here, so that's a nice pick. On the hood we want a power bulge and then the 2 vents, and I've looked through this before recording and I think that this vented hood works out the closest. We don't get the power bulge, but the vents are in about the right place. Moving on down, I would always say white lights from the car meet. If not, maybe with the age of the car, some xenons. I won't waste the cash. As I say, I'm not keeping it. We don't need a livery for our car, but let's have a look. There's actually a lot available, which means that you can do a lot with this car. And bear in mind, of course, this is a free car off the street. In fact, that is the only way you can get it now. There's a lot of liveries. I think this is really good for a free car. Moving on down then, we're not going to put any mud guards on. Plate is up to you, but I think I'm going to go with a yellow and black plate here. For the respray, let's see how this crew colour looks. Okay, and it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. So the crew colour for the primary, and then the pearlescent they suggest is wood beach brown. And when I say they, I mean GTAcolours.com, because that is where I got this colour from. Let's find wood beach brown. It might be a bit bright considering it's going to affect the secondary, but let's pop it on for now. Now for the secondary, I want black going over here on the roof for a carbon roof. I don't really want black round these, but I don't think it would look too bad, and I'm not sure I also have much choice. So let's just go for the secondary, something like a classic black. Not too bad. Roll cage, I don't want one. Roof, the reason I've gone secondary here, you see, is that whilst I can have the middle vortex fin, which I want, and I'll select, there is actually no carbon roof option, so the only way to get that is to do the secondary. You could also consider perhaps, should we try a matte black, see if that works any better. I think it does. So matte black there. Onto skirts. Now we can go to stock skirts here. That removes the second bit, and now, although we don't want black skirts, that just looks so much better leaving it like that. Spoiler, the car we're looking at has quite a reasonable sized ducktail, and these ducktails here are a bit more pronounced than the lip spoilers. I think the one we're looking at has some paint and some carbon. Well, we can't do that, so let's just take the carbon one and have done. We don't want a sun strip. Suspension, it's on lowered as I stole it. I think that looks a bit too low for the car, so we'll just go with stock. Transmission and turbo, you would probably do at least transmission if you were keeping the car. Wheels, the ones that best match, I think, are the cheetah wheels in the high end, the cheetah RR, and if you look, this shape here does match the shape. Now the spokes are a little bit thicker, but I do think this wheel is very close, and at 10,000 it's a pretty good bargain. There is an alternative, and it's in the street category, I think. Deep flake reverse. Now this also has sort of flat here and then a dish inwards, the same as the real one, same as the Cheetah does, and also 5 wheel bolts. The shape is not quite right here. It's a little sharper when you come inside, but it's actually got thinner spokes, and I think it's a nicer looking wheel. And you know, if I was keeping this car, I think I would go deep flake reverse, to be honest. But hey, let's be mean because we're not keeping it and put the Cheetah RR on, because the shape is slightly better. Obviously you would go for bulletproof tyres normally, and we definitely want some smoke on the windows. Last thing then, before we sign this build off as complete, is the pearl. What do you think of the pearl? It might be a fraction too brown, but I think, as so often happens, the guys on GTAcolour.com have done a really good job. Wonder about lowering the brown a little bit, maybe though moss brown. I think we'll take moss brown. So there we are, one Java Green E92 M3 build. Let's take it outside, see what it looks like. Okay, we can have a look at this now in the sun. I think it looks really nice. I really do. I don't think having that bit of extra black around the bottom has mattered too much. I think the colour has worked out wonderfully, so thank you very much, GTAcolours.com. I think it's a very effective build for the car, and yeah, well worth pulling it off the street for and popping on a crew colour. The other build for this car that I think is really worth having, and the build that I'm keeping on the other one I have, is the GTS, the orange one that they only made 150 of, and of course that is an incredibly special car. It's an easy build. I could do a video if I'm asked. It's probably something you can work out for yourself, although I think my colour is perhaps slightly better by using a crew colour. Let me know down below. Also, please let me know, is this sort of video where I just simply talk over what I'm doing, so at least I get the timing right? How does that work out for you? Does it work out okay? We'll have to see in the edit whether the keyboard strokes, etc. have been removed by the NVIDIA broadcast. My thinking is, if I do at least some of the things like this, it will slightly increase my output over having to do the cinematics. On the flip side, on cars I like, I really enjoy putting together a few cinematics to present the car. So, love to know what you think down below. As for this one, I'm afraid it has to go, so we'll say goodbye to that. If you enjoyed this in any way, I'd love a thumb. I've already asked for a comment, and of course if you like real cars in GTA, please do consider subscribing. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching.